Just $1,500 a month buys you a better life overseas than $6,000 does in the USA. How do I know? I've lived abroad for nearly a decade, bought property, gotten residency in several countries, used the healthcare system in a few, met my fiance, scaled a couple businesses, and built a life that's not just cheaper, but healthier, freer, and more enjoyable. And I'm not the only one. Millions of Americans are quietly doing the same. So today I'm breaking down my real monthly costs overseas. What categories will save you the most if you choose to move abroad? Which countries give you the best value? And how you can figure out if this move makes sense for you. In order to find out if you'd save big time by moving abroad, we have to establish your baseline first. What does it actually cost to live a decent middle to upper class life in the US? For most soon to retire, retiring, or retired Americans, it's somewhere around $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And that's just the basics. Rent or mortgage, that's $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Healthcare and insurance, $1,000 to $3,000 a month. Groceries, $750 to $1,500 a month. Transportation, that's $1,000 a month. Miscellaneous, just an extra $2,000. And forget about taxes. Even in retirement, you could be handing over 15 to 25% of your income, depending on your Social Security and IRA distributions. And what do you get for that money? Stress? Traffic? Poor service at the DMV? Shootings on the news? And that's not a political statement, by the way. Every year, it feels like things get more expensive and provide even less than before. That's a terrible quality of life formula, in my opinion. I'm not blaming you or anyone for that matter. I was no different. I was living in an American city just getting by before I left the country. I spent just about as much as I made. And after taxes, man, I was underwater. I'm just lucky I had a cushion to fall back on and was adventurous enough to want to experiment abroad. Now, I can't imagine living back in the US. And that's the truth. And that's what's pushing so many Americans, especially those nearing retirement like you, to ask, is there a better way? Well, the answer is yes, there is. Let me give you a snapshot of my real expenses right now living in Colombia. My rent's about $600 a month for a brand new 3-bedroom apartment with 2 balconies, modern finishes, and an incredible view. Now, here's the part no one talks about: healthcare. I pay about $80 a month for private insurance. I pay about $30 to see a private English speaking doctor, same day appointment. And the care, I haven't used my healthcare policy much, but I've had friends who have and have had nothing but great things to say. I do get regular blood tests and health checkups at my home, as most medical services come to you for no extra charge. Yeah, I'm serious. Groceries, $200 maybe to $250 a month. I eat fresh, local, organic by default. Mangoes, avocados, coffee beans, they could cost, I don't know, $14 a pound in California. Here they're essentially pennies. Comment below and tell me how much you're spending on groceries per month right now in America. I can't wait to see these numbers. Full-time cleaner, $250 a month. That one usually surprises people. I don't hire this out right now because we don't need the extra help. But if we did, a full-time nanny or cleaner, maid, or cook would cost just about $200 to $300 a month. So the total monthly cost, under $1,500 a month, and I live well. Could I live cheaper? Absolutely. Could I spend more? Definitely. But the point is this: for 60 to 70% less than what I would spend in the US, I now live a healthier, freer, and more peaceful life in Colombia. And I'm not scraping by, I'm thriving. Of course, Colombia is where I live currently. I've lived in 10 other countries abroad, and my costs were similar. Let's break it down by category. How much cheaper can life be abroad? Housing is often your biggest monthly cost in the US. Abroad, it's often your biggest savings. In places like Colombia, Mexico, the Balkans, and parts of Southeast Asia, it's common to find a quality 2-bedroom apartment for under $800 a month. If you buy property, even better. I bought real estate here in Colombia, and I paid less than what my friends in the US spend on a down payment for a similar build. Beachfront place in Brazil or Nicaragua, just $100,000 to $200,000 if you find the right property. What would you do with all that savings? And by the way, the Freedom Files can help you with your international property search, particularly if you're in need of residency as well. Why not kill two birds with one stone, right? Okay, this one stings for a lot of Americans because back home, even with Medicare or good insurance, you're still paying hundreds per month, plus copays, deductibles, and surprise bills. Usually it comes out to thousands per month. Abroad, you can get world class private care, often delivered to you at home, like I had mentioned before, for a fraction of the cost. Food abroad is insanely affordable when you shop locally and eat fresh, which is often the default, especially in the Mediterranean. Even dining out can cost less than $20 for two in a town center in Greece or Spain. That morning espresso you love when you wake up, that's just €1 in Italy. No tipping culture, no hidden service fees, nothing. This was one of my most shocking realizations of life abroad. I don't own a car anymore. I don't need one. Uber is $2 to $3 a ride. The metro here in Medellin, where I live, is clean and safe. And let me tell you guys a story. A friend from Manhattan, from New York City, just visited me a few weeks ago, and we had to go about 4 hours in car to a day trip. And the final bill came out to just $40 here in Colombia. I was in Manhattan last summer and regularly paid $40 to travel 10 blocks. In most expat friendly cities, you can walk as well or take cheap taxis everywhere. No gas bills, no car insurance, no random $1,000 mechanic visits. Not owning a car has saved me boatloads. So let's talk about what all of this means. You don't just save money when living abroad. You buy your sanity back. You buy your time. You buy freedom. When your expenses drop by 50 to 70%, you're no longer working for survival. You're living for joy. It is a total and beautiful mindset shift that I've seen countless retirees go through. Now let's go back to the original question. How much cheaper is life abroad than in the USA? Yes, it's cheaper in almost every meaningful way. How much depends on you. It depends on your budget, your goals, your destination, obviously, and your comforts. But your money stretches further in Spain, Thailand, and Ecuador. You can afford better care, better food, and more help in Italy, Turkey, and Mexico. You stop working just to keep up and start living how you want in the Caribbean, Greece, and Malaysia. But the biggest shift isn't in your wallet, it's in your mindset. You start asking new questions. Not, can I afford to retire, but where do I want to wake up every day? Not, how long do I have to work, but how soon can I live the life I actually want? Most people won't even consider moving abroad until it's too late, until they've worked an extra 10 years, downsized their dreams, and sacrificed their health, all just to get by. Don't let that be your story. That's not the right way to go out. If you're over 45, 50, or even 60 and wondering how much better life could be, grab our free 162-page ebook. Seriously, I can't believe that's free. Of how to retire earlier and live better abroad. Or schedule a call with my team and me. We'll show you what's possible based on your budget, your timeline, and your goals. No pressure, just clarity. And in the next few weeks, I'm filming from Spain, then Italy, then Greece. So hit subscribe and let me know what you want to know about what this life really looks like on the ground. Until then, ask yourself the only question that really matters. What's life costing you to stay where you are?